The U.S. has been ranked as a flawed democracy for the second year in a row, thanks to low voter turnout and faith in government. Faith in government has reached new lows, with only 18% of Americans saying they can trust the government to do what is right just about always or most of the time. Likewise, 42% of eligible voters stayed home in 2016, with dislike of the candidates and feeling like their vote wouldn't make a difference the largest reasons why. Many have pinned the blame on the Electoral College. Senator Sanders explains why.
We have one candidate who got 2 million more votes than the other candidate, but she is not going to be sworn in as president. And I think on the surface, that's a little bit weird. The second thing that bothers me is that, as everybody knows, that during the campaign, we have states, California, New York, and many others that are traditionally Democratic. You had a whole lot of states that are traditionally Republican. The needs and the people of those states are ignored during the political process.
The reason we even have the Electoral College is very old.
The Founding Fathers, in drafting the Constitution, looked at the examples of Greece and Rome and picked out pretty much a lot of the best things that they saw and did their best to do end runs on the worst of what they saw. One of the issues that plagued Athens and Rome in all of this legislative and electoral business was that people who lived close to the cities were privileged, because in order to vote in the ecclesia, you had to physically attend the ecclesia, which means you had to go to Athens. If you live far away from Athens in the ancient world and you're still within Athenian territory, it can be a significant time commitment just to get to the city itself. So many voters who live far from the center of Athens are not necessarily going to be attending the ecclesia. The same is kind of true with matters in Rome. People who live in the city or near the city are privileged in the voting process.
The Founding Fathers' solution to this concentration of power in urban areas was the Electoral College, because it provided a buffer against the popular will in purposely weighted small states. America's political geography has changed since its founding as well. The founders feared the interests of large states would drown out those of small states, so they purposely weighted small states to make sure that regionally polarized issues like slavery couldn't become national ones. Instead of relying on an informed few to make decisions, the information era allows us to have an educated electorate of a magnitude the founders couldn't even have dreamed of. I propose replacing the Electoral College with the popular election of the president. Under my system, voters indicate their first and second choices. The candidate and last votes are added until a candidate has a majority. This solution would require candidates to campaign across several platforms to create majority coalitions.